It is past halfway through the year, but we still have a lot of horror to look forward to. And today I'm giving you a list of 20 films there's still a chance for. One of these could be your favorites, so don't count the year over just yet. Let's get into it. We're going month by month, but of course these are subject to change, starting with The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This one comes out very soon and I already have my tickets. The reason that I'm most excited about this one is because it's directed by Norwegian director Andre Øvredal, who's known for Troll Hunter, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This is a film adaptation of a chapter titled The Captain's Log from Bram Stoker's Dracula novel. The movie revolves around the ill-fated crew of the ship Demeter, struggling to survive its journey while being hunted by a vampire known as Dracula. Let's be real, Valak was always the scariest part of the Conjuring film, so I'm interested to see what happens in The Nun 2. Set 4 years after the ending of the first film, the film follows Sister Irene as she once again comes face to face with the demonic force Valak. Bonnie Aarons returns as Valak, and the trailer looks terrifying with Stormy Reed joining the cast, and of course Thaisa Farmiga returns. Saw the final chapter is back with Saw X. I kid, I'm a huge fan of the original films and I'm hoping that the franchise can make its way back to its roots because the premise for this one is different. Taking place between Saw and Saw 2, we follow John Kramer. In a state of sickness and desperation, he embarks on a journey to Mexico seeking an experimental medical procedure that may cure him. However, he soon realizes that the entire operation is not what it seems and takes matters into his own hands. I am keen to watch the Jigsaw Mastermind from a first-person POV. I'm so glad that Tobin Bell came back for more. One you may not have heard of yet is horror thriller All Fun and Games. The cast is very interesting with Natalia Dyer and Asa Butterfield. We get spooky in Salem in this film when a bunch of teenagers find a cursed knife. And of course it releases a demon that compels them to play in creepy renditions of childhood games. But in this deadly scenario of survival, there are no winners. Just those who manage to endure these sinister challenges. And you know what they say, it's all fun and games until... wait, I guess we'll have to wait to see. But no horror film has had a more intriguing cast than A Haunting in Venice. Picture this: Michelle Yeoh, Kenneth Branagh, Kelly Riley, Tina Fey, and Jamie Dornan in an Agatha Christie nightmare seance. The film is set in post-World War II Venice, where a man residing in his self-imposed exile hesitantly joins a seance gathering. However, the situation takes a sinister turn, when one of the attendees is killed. Did you hear me? I said it was Agatha Christie, prompting an investigation to take place to unmask the murderer. Horror Satanic Hispanics is due for a September release. This horror anthology, made by 5 Latino filmmakers, takes place during a police raid when they discover a house full of dead bodies, leaving just one survivor, known as the Traveler. The police bring him back to the station for interrogation, and during the questioning, he tells them the stories of the horrors he's encountered in his long time on Earth. In It Lives Inside, Sam, an Indian American high school student, is struggling to fit in and rejects her heritage in an attempt to connect with her peers. However, her world takes a chilling turn when a demonic spirit targets her former best friend, latching onto them with malicious intent. Now Sam must embrace her roots in order to conquer evil and take this entity down. I included this one because the trailer is chilling. With a thick, dark atmosphere, it looks like a real screamer. Of course, this made the list. Everyone is so eager to see what they're gonna do with the new Exorcist. This film was originally planned to be a reboot, but later it was developed into a direct sequel, following up from the original film. This one is about a 12-year-old girl who is possessed by, of course, a mysterious demonic entity. Anyone want to guess who? Forcing her mother to seek help from 2 priests to save her life. People are excited about this one because Ellen Burstyn is returning as Chris, but I'm personally even more excited about Anne Dowd. Everything she touches turns to terror. Although I have seen the trailer. I did a trailer reaction on my Patreon and I have my concerns, let's say that. I'm still holding out hope. But even closer to my heart, if you don't know, Pet Sematary, if I had to pick a favorite, I hate picking favorites, but if I had to pick a favorite, I always say Pet Sematary is my favorite horror movie. And even more so, the book. If you have not read the book, you need to. So I was a little bit apprehensive when I learned that they were bringing it back yet again. But this is different. This is a prequel with a wicked cast of David Duchovny, Henry Thomas, and Pam Grier. The film is set in 1969, where we follow the young Judd, who has been dreaming of leaving his small hometown, but soon he finds something sinister is buried underneath. And he is forced to face a dark family secret that will forever connect him to this small town. Now I'm a horror gamer girly. If you don't know, I'm on Twitch now and I play horror games all the time. I'm playing Outlast right now and I love it. Well, I'm ready for Five Nights at Freddy's. I could not be more excited for Five Nights at Freddy's because that damn fox is my enemy and I must see him stopped on the big screen. Starring Josh Hutcherson and more excitingly, horror icon Matthew Lillard, we follow a troubled security guard who begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. But during the first night on the job, he realizes that the night shift won't be as easy as he thought. And pretty soon, he'll unveil what actually happened at Freddy's. Look, I'm not expecting it to be some deep journey of discovery. I'm honestly just looking for some good times with some great jump scares. Let's hope it can deliver that. In 2017, Adam Illis, a BuzzFeed writer, captivated online audiences with Dear David, a creepy Twitter thread chronicling an eerie encounter with a ghost. His updates of this spine-chilling tale quickly spread like wildfire. Now the story has been turned into a film. I'm really intrigued to see how they adapt this story because reading the thread day to day was a ritual for a lot of people and one that often seeped into their nightmares. Love him or hate him, Eli Roth is back for the long-awaited Thanksgiving. This is based on his mock trailer in Grindhouse, and it stars Rick Hoffman, Patrick Dempsey, and Addison Rae. The plot is said to be a killer carves his way through a small town on Thanksgiving. So yeah, it seems to be a slasher at its core, and I can't wait to see how it all pans out. Okay, Poor Things is more of a dark sci-fi, but if you love Yorgos, you know that his films are always horrific. Poor Things stars William Dafoe, Emma Stone, Christopher Abbott, Margaret Qualley, and Mark Ruffalo. The art house Nightmare is said to be the incredible tale of the fantastical evolution of Bella Baxter, a woman brought back to life by the brilliant unorthodox scientist Dr. Goodwin Baxter. The film is based on the book of the same name and it is set for a September release, but it's been pushed back to December at this point, which means some countries will have to wait until January, which is unfortunate because this was my most anticipated film for the year. I really hope we get it on time now. I'm trying to talk about the films in sections, so I started with dates. These next 3 films have been announced for 2023, so I'm very hopeful they'll be out then, but they do not have announced dates or months. The first one is Cuckoo, which shout out to my friend Rotted Reviews, Mike, who reminded me about this one. As soon as he said it, I looked it up and oh my gosh, I remember the buzz for this one when it was first announced. And mainly that's because it stars Hunter Schafer and Dan Stevens. And it's also directed by German filmmaker Tillman Singer, who did Lutz. It was one of my favorite horrors of 2018 and it was a little bit off the rails, I'm not gonna lie, but let's hope, I'm actually hoping that this one is just as bizarre. The plot is about 17-year-old Gretchen, who's just moved to an alpine resort with her family. Here, she is chased by a mysterious woman and must uncover a conspiracy to save herself and her sister. Obviously, no trailer. If I'm not bringing up the trailer, that's because there's no trailer yet, but I'm intrigued. The next film is There's Something in the Barn, and thanks to Rob, one of my friends and patrons, for introducing me to it. And the reason I keep showing this picture is because I want you to look at it and just think about what I'm going to tell you. The film claims to be an ambitious, artistic bridge between American classics and Norwegian mythology. Doesn't this seem interesting? It might be a new winter classic. It's said to be like The Gremlins meets Home Alone. Let's hope it's a new horror Christmas classic. We need more of them. And of course, The Strangers is back, and this is for what they're calling currently a trilogy reboot, with the first installment being rumored to come out this year. In the first film, we follow a couple embarking on a road trip to start a new life. However, their plans take an unexpected turn when their vehicle breaks down, forcing them to seek refuge in an Airbnb. Little do they know that they will be the target of some masked invaders. The new trilogy is said to give a backstory not only to the victims or survivors, whatever happens, but also to the villains, which I think is really interesting because one of the main aspects that we love about the strangers is you don't know they are strangers. We don't know why they do it, that we don't know their motive, because you were home kind of deal. So I don't know if giving them that backstory will work, but it should be interesting. The last 4 films today are hopefuls. These are films that could fall into 2023. They could be pushed to 2024, but some people are still holding out hope. And the first one is, of course, Maxxine. The long-awaited conclusion to the X trilogy. Ty West has been teasing Maxxine all year with no official date. We're still hoping for 2023. The film will follow Maxxine, who was the only survivor of the bloody incidents in X. And we follow her as she continues her journey towards fame, inspiring to be an actress in LA. Okay, this next one is a little bit controversial. It's a little bit dicey. Let's talk about Salems Lot. This film finished production in November of 2021. It was held for COVID-related delays. And then additionally, they filmed pickups in 2022. And then it also previewed in April of 2022 at a convention. The film was initially set to be released in April of 2023 this year, but another Warner Bros. Film took its slot, which was Evil Dead Rise, leaving people to wonder, when are we going to see this film? People have theorized that it could be out for a American fall release. So people still believe that it could be out in September, October, November. The readaptation of the Stephen King novel follows a writer who returns after 25 years to the small town where he spent his childhood, but here he discovers an ancient evil is now present. Let me know if you're watching this and you're holding out hope like me for this to be a 2023 release. And of course, directed by my buddy Chris Stuckman, Shelby Oaks. This has to be one of the most anticipated horror films of this community for many reasons. The film is about a woman's desperate search for her long-lost sister that spirals out of control when she realizes that the imaginary demon from her childhood may have been real. We don't know. It could still be late this year, could be early next year, so it's a bit of a 50-50 thing. And for the next one, all we have is a poster, but I've never heard anyone else talk about this. When I was doing research to see if there was anything I was missing, this popped up out of nowhere, and I haven't heard anyone say anything. It's the First Omen. This poster looks awesome too, especially with the R rating at the bottom. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's a prequel to The Omen. And this one has on its cast Ralph Ineson playing the priest. I love The Omen, and I would love a prequel. Anyway, that is 20 films that I'm very excited about in the future. Anticipated most of them will be out this year, which is really exciting. Let me know what you're most looking forward to, if that's on this list. If it's not, please let me know down in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and why not send it to a horror friend who might also enjoy it, find it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you all soon. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.